Hello and welcome back. This is Sushyata Sengupta Roy and I'm from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Modern Science, Department of Media Science. So, throughout my lectures, I have been giving you details about media laws and the acts and articles which are related to the law of media. Now, today we'll be discussing about Drugs and Magical Remedies Act, which was it started off in 1954, which is it's also called an objectionable advertisement. Now, when we talk about advertisement, media is fully dependent on advertisement as of now, and it has been from ages together. Now, there are a lot of things which we are sort of like we are derived out of or driven by advertisements. Now, there are a lot of girls who really think that a cream can make her fairer. Now, we are born with a complexion. It can be fair, it can be dark, but every complexion is good, and it's beautiful by its own. But there are people who keep on fooling us with some magical remedies, and like today, like we are all into this corona and this pandemic situations, and you very well know that there are a lot of people who are claiming to have homeopathic and this ayurvedic or something, some or the other. They're claiming to have medicines of corona, but those are absolutely illegal. Like we know about coronil. I think it was basically it was claimed by this Patanjali that this can cure corona, but no, it's not. It later they said that it is just going to build our immunity. Now, to build our immunity, food is enough. To build our immunity, any vitamins are enough. So anyways, we'll be discussing about Drugs and Magical Remedies Act of 1954. Now, when we talk about this, the first object, now what is the object of it? So an act to control the advertisement of drugs in certain cases. So like advertisements should not be absolutely driving type, to prohibit the advertisements for certain purposes of remedies alleged to possess magical qualities and to provide for matters connected with. Now you understand, like creams cannot make anybody fair. So this type of advertisement should obviously be stopped. Now, what is the extent and commencement of it? So it extends to the whole of India and applies also to persons domiciled in territories of which this act extends, who are outside the said territories. So it shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification on the official gazette, which is on 1st April 1955 by notification number SRO 511 dated 26 February 1995, Gazette of India. So it's basically the gazette was passed in 1955. Now, what is the definition of it? How do we define this? Now, when to define advertisement, advertisement includes any notice, circular, label, wrapper, or other documents and any announcement made orally or by means of producing or transmitting light, sound, or smoke. So this is what an advertisement is. And what do we know about magical remedy? The word magical remedy. So magic or magical remedy includes talisman, mantra, kavach, vashikaran, etc., and any other charm or any kind of which is alleged to possess miraculous powers, or in the diagnose, cure, mutilation, as I told you about the coronal type. So that's the treatment or prevention of any diseases in human being or animals, or a fact or influencing like any way the structure or any organic function of the body of human beings or animals. So for affecting or influencing any way the structure or any organic function of the body of human being or animal. So that's what a magic remedy is. So when we talk about magic remedy, the next thing should always be like we have to talk about the drug part also. Like what is, because the act says about the drugs and the magical remedies. So first we have dealt with the magical remedies, and now we have to include drugs, the medicines. And I think this is a far more acute problem. Now, which is safe, which is not. So a medicine for the internal or external use of human being or animals. So any substance intended to use for in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease in human being or animal. So that comes under the what is a drug. The third point is any article other than food intended to affect or influence any way the structure or any organic function of the body of human being or animals. And the fourth article is any article intended for use as a component of any medicine, substance or article referred to in subclause 1, 2 or 3. So basically drugs are like medicines which will be taken with the medicine with the food or apart from food. Now the fourth point we have to discuss is registered medical practitioner, the doctors. So the doctors always have a registered practitioner license. So like a doctor can treat a person only under license. So without the license, a doctor cannot treat a person. So like what is a registered medical practitioner? That means any person who holds a qualification granted by an authority specified in or notified under section 3 of the Indian Medical Degree Act of 1916, which under section 7 of 1916, or specified in the schedules to the National Medical Council Act of 1956, again 102 of 156, or who is entitled to be registered as a medical practitioner under any law for the time being in force in any state to which this act extends, related to the registration of medical practitioners. So who are the medical practitioners? Who are the doctors and who have the license, who are registered degrees under the Medical Degree Act and the Indian Medical Council Act. Now, when you have to classify the prohibited advertisements. Now, what are the classes? So, section 3 says that number 1, prohibition of advertisement of certain drugs for treatment of certain diseases and disorders. Now, do we all know that medicines cannot be advertised, because medicines are only prescribed by registered medical practitioners or the doctors, but you cannot advertise a medicine. So because it is only it is under supervision, under doctor's supervision. Now what's the point now? At present, A, for the procurement of miscarriage in women or prevention of conception of women, or the maintenance or improvement of the capacity of human beings or sexual pleasure, or the correction of menstrual disorder in women, or the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment or prevention of any disease, disorder or condition specified in the schedule, or any other disease, disorder or condition by some whatsoever name called, which may be specified in the schedule or in the rules made under this act. So these are basically the prohibition of advertisement of certain drugs, which is for the treatment of certain diseases and disorder. Now what's number 2? So prohibition of misleading advertisement related to drugs. What are the misleading advertisements? So subject to the provisions of this act, no person shall take any part in the publication of any advertisement related to a drug if the advertisement contains any matter which directly or indirectly gives a false impression regarding the true nature or character of the drug. Now, which cannot cure corona, you cannot write that you cannot say that it can cure corona. So it's like that. You cannot directly give a false impression. You should not be making a false claim for the drug, or is otherwise false or misleading in any material particular or prohibited. This cannot be done. So now there are strict rules and regulations of do's and don'ts in this, because ultimately it's medicines. So the third provision is the provision of advertisement of medical remedies for treatment of certain diseases and disorder. No person carrying in or purporting to carry on the profession of administering magical remedies shall take any part in the publication of any advertisement referring to any magical remedy which directly or indirectly claims to be efficacious for any of the purposes specified in section 3. So like when you talk about magical remedies, this Vashikaran, your tabis and etc., you cannot claim that way. And obviously advertising for these claims, it's just absolutely illegal, cannot be done. Like take a tabiz and your fever will be cured, or take a tabiz if you are suffering from typhoid and the typhoid gets cleared. No, it's not possible, it cannot happen like that, and it's absolutely prohibited under this Act of Drugs and Magical Remedies Act of 1954. Now the fourth provision. So the fourth provision says the provision of import into and export from India of certain advertisements. Now you cannot do that. So like what is it? No person shall import into or export from the territories to which this act extends any document containing an advertisement of the nature referred in 2 or 3 of above, like of this magical remedies. So you cannot even import or export from this type of advertisement. Like some tabis from China cannot come to India, and not even their advertisement. China cannot come and advertise in an Indian channel about some tabis or about some talisman or about some magical remedies of their place. It's again prohibited. So what are the classes of exempted advertisement provisions for the savings? Like there has to be something which can be exempted. So what are the exemptions? Like every law has a flaw and every law has exemptions, as I've told you much before. So what are our exceptions in this case about from this Drugs and Magical Remedies Act of 1954, or what are the exemptions? Now the following cases of advertisements are not prohibited under this act. What are those? So any advertisement relating to the drugs printed or published by the government or any other person with prior permission of the government. So if you're advertising something about some drugs with the permission of the government, you can do it, like Crocin. Okay, any advertisement related to a drug which is sent confidentially in prescribed manner to registered medical practitioner. Any advertisement related to a drug which is sent confidentially, so that can be done. Third point, advertisement including any book or treatise, a written or printed composition dealing with any matter related to the disease. So that can be absolutely away from this prohibition. Now, any signboard or notice displayed by a registered practitioner on his premises indicating that treatment of any disease, disorder or condition specified in section 3. So now you have always seen like people like doctors, when you want to, when you go to a doctor's residence, it will be written somewhere like in a board like Dr. So and so, specialist in eyes or specialist in something, whatever he specializes in, whatever treatment he does the best. So that will be written out there. So that is not prohibited under this act. What others are not prohibited? So any advertisement related to a drug. So when you put a board outside your house, even that is an advertisement of a mode of like a signboard type. Okay. Now the second part, like another part which is not prohibited under this law, is any advertisement related to a drug printed or published by any person with the previous sanction of the government granted prior to the commencement of the Drug and Magical Remedies Objectionable Advertisement Amendment Act of 1962. Somebody who has already taken permission before 1963, before the Amendment Act. So then that will be running, which has been done much before. So no, nothing, this provisions will not be applied on already provisions or already permissions being given before. So it is not going to be put into a new course. Now, finally, provided that the government may, or for reasons to be recorded in writing, withdraw the sanction after giving the person an opportunity of showcasing cause against such withdrawal. So it is, yes, if the permission is already been given before, that will not be that will not be cancelled. But then it should not be like if that permission should be still there. If the government has already cancelled it, so it will remain cancelled. Now, advertisement related to the drug which comply with the required conditions are what we are going to discuss. Like advertisement related to drug which is like required conditions which is already granted. What are those? Leaflets or literatures along with the package of drug. Every medicine you purchase normally has a small leaflet within it, which has the details of the drug, with the detail of the medicine, and normally it is written as prescribed by the registered medical practitioner, but normally it is also been written maybe taken twice a day, maybe one tablet thrice a day, whatever. So those are the indications which is like in a format leaflet or literature which is within the medicine. That's not prohibited, that's absolutely exempted, or that is applicable, or that's that is acceptable. Now another number 2 is therapeutic index or price list published by licensed manufacturers, importers or distributors of drug or medical literature distributed by medical representatives, with the condition that the advertisement should contain only the information required for the guidance of registered medical practitioner regarding what? Regarding therapeutic indication, route of administration, dosage and side effect of such drug or drugs, and the precaution to be taken in treatment with the drug, because a lot of medicines, they have some side effects, and when you're taking some medicines, some food maybe maybe discontinued, or maybe something, there can be rules and regulations, or precautions, or maybe the rules, or whatever they are, that has to be there. So if it is there, that is absolutely an exemption that is allowed. Now, another exemption part, the distribution of such literature should be given to registered medical practitioner, dispensaries, hospitals, medical and research institutes, chemists, druggists, and pharmacists. So again, these literature should be given only to doctors and pharmacists, not to everybody, because that has essential details, essential documents, and which is basically essential for the doctors to know, not for us to know. So it is basically for the doctors and the pharmacists. Finally, we'll come to the end of this Drug and Magical Remedies Act of 1954, which is the penalty. So, well, this is all what law for, because law is being codified. Why? Because these are the do's, and in case you don't do it, or you don't abide by the law, there's a penalty penalty will be charged, or prosecution will be done. So what are the penalties? So whoever contravenes any of the provisions of this act, of the rules made there under, shall or conviction be punishable. What are those? A, in case of a first conviction with imprisonment, which may extend to 6 months, or with a fine, or with both. It can be a conviction of 6 months with fine, or both, or fine, or just a conviction without fine. So the B is in case of subsequent conviction. So if it is the first time, if you go wrong for the first time, this is the punishment. Now, if somebody is going wrong every now and then, or with a twice or thrice, in that case, the subsequent conviction with the imprisonment, which may extend to 1 year, from 6 months it goes to 1 year, or with fine, either with 1 year of confinement, or with fine, or with both. So that will be the penalty if somebody does anything wrong with this Drug and the Magical Remedies Act of 1954. So there we come to end of this act, till we come up with the next tutorial with a new act. So thank you for now, and stay blessed.